The Bride Who Cried Till Morning. My name is Clara. I am 25 years old and I live in Houston, Texas. I always believed in love. I believed marriage was not just about a man and a woman living together, but about respect, care, and trust. Since childhood, I dreamed of my wedding day, the flowers, the music, the laughter, and especially my wedding night. I thought it would be the most beautiful night of my life, the night when I would feel safe in the arms of someone who loved me. But I was wrong, so wrong. My marriage was arranged. The groom was Daniel, my father's business partner's son. I had never spoken to him before. I did not get a chance to know him, not even for a minute. Everything happened too fast. One day my father said, "Clara, Daniel is a good boy. You will have a safe life with him." My mother nodded and smiled, saying, "This is the right decision for you." The proposal came like a storm. Daniel's parents visited us. They praised me, saying, "Your daughter is gentle, she has a pure heart, she will be a blessing for our son." My parents felt proud. We were not rich, but our home was full of peace and love. Everyone said this was the perfect match. Everyone, except me. Inside, I was scared, but I stayed silent. Within a few weeks, the wedding was planned. The wedding day was beautiful. Guests came from faraway places. Lights decorated the hall, flowers hung from the ceiling, and laughter filled the air. I wore a cream-colored dress with golden embroidery. People whispered, "She looks like a queen." I smiled, but inside my chest, my heart raced. Daniel wore a dark suit. He looked handsome, but I could not read his eyes. Were they kind? Were they cold? I couldn't tell. He shook my hand firmly, but did not smile much. I told myself, maybe he is just shy. The ceremony ended. Guests clapped. Pictures were taken. I hugged my parents, and tears rolled down my cheeks as I left my home. My heart felt heavy, but I told myself, this is my new beginning. At night, I was taken to Daniel's house. His family welcomed me kindly, but soon the noise ended. Guests left. Lights dimmed. My stomach tightened with fear and hope. Finally, I was led to our room. The bed was covered with red roses. The air smelled of perfume. My hands were cold as I sat down. My lips were dry. My heart pounded like a drum. I had dreamed of this moment so many times, but now I only felt nervous. The door opened. Daniel walked in. He looked at me, his eyes unreadable. Then he said flatly, "Hello, congratulations. You look beautiful." I forced a smile. "Thank you." He sat down, but he didn't sit too close. There was silence for a moment. I thought he would talk about our future, about life, about family. But instead, his eyes scanned me in a way that made me uncomfortable. He said, "So, Clara, are you ready?" His tone was not gentle, not curious, just cold. My heart sank. I wanted him to hold my hand first, to talk, to laugh, to make me feel safe. But instead, he leaned forward and grabbed my wrist. I whispered nervously, "Daniel, maybe we should talk first." But he did not listen. He touched me, but it was not gentle, not kind. It was rough, like he was not seeing me as his wife, but as something to use. I froze. My body stiffened. Tears filled my eyes. I thought, this is not how it should feel. This is not love. Then, as if the cruelty was not enough, he pulled back suddenly and looked at me with suspicion. His eyes narrowed. "You are not pure," he said sharply. My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" I whispered. He raised his voice. "You've been with someone before. You're not innocent." Tears spilled down my face. "No, Daniel, that's not true. I have never—" But he cut me off. "Don't lie to me. I can see it in your eyes. You are not a virgin." My world collapsed. My lips trembled. I wanted to scream, to fight back, but no words came out. My soul broke in silence. That night, instead of love, I got blame, shame, and rejection. Daniel stood up and turned his back to me. "Sleep if you want." But don't think of yourself as my wife. I don't trust you." I cried quietly. I covered my face with my hands, shaking. My wedding dress still hung on the chair, looking bright and beautiful, while I felt small, dirty, and broken inside. That night I cried until the morning. Every second felt like fire in my chest. I kept asking, why me? What did I do wrong? I thought of my parents, of the trust they had in this marriage. How could I tell them? What would I say? When the sun rose, Daniel looked at me coldly and said, "I don't want to see you here tomorrow. Go back to your home. Tell no one about this. Do you understand?" My mouth fell open. I shook my head slowly. "Daniel, please, don't do this. But he turned away. His silence was sharper than any sword. The next morning, with shaking hands, I packed my things. My eyes were swollen from crying all night. I left the house quietly. When I reached home, my mother ran to me. "Clara, why are you here? What happened?" Her voice was trembling. I fell into her arms and cried. My father stood still, his eyes confused, broken. They asked me again and again, but I had no words. How could I explain that my wedding night turned into my funeral of dreams? Days passed, but things got worse. Daniel told people lies. He said I had a secret boyfriend. He said I cheated. Soon, neighbors whispered behind my back. Some believed him. Some pitied me. Nobody asked for my truth. I stayed in my room for weeks. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. My pillow was always wet with tears. I heard voices outside saying, maybe she really did something bad. Every word stabbed me deeper, but my parents stayed beside me. My mother held my hand and said, "We believe you. We know your heart." My father, with tears in his eyes, said, "You are our pride, Clara. Don't break because of his lies." One day, months later, I saw Daniel again at a shopping mall. He was with another girl dressed in diamonds. When he saw me, his face changed. He walked over slowly. "Clara, I'm sorry," he said. His voice was weak. My chest tightened. My eyes burned, but I stayed silent. Then he said, "I thought rich girls were better, but they don't love like you. They don't pray for me like you did. They don't cry for me. Please forgive me." For a moment, my heart remembered the girl who cried till morning. But then I took a deep breath. "You broke me, Daniel," I said. "You left me when I needed you most. You made the world believe I was dirty. You destroyed my name." His face dropped. "I forgive you," I added. His eyes lit up. But before he could speak, I continued. "I forgive you for myself, not for you, because I want peace in my heart. My healing does not need you anymore." I turned away. My eyes filled with tears again, but this time they were different. They were the last tears for him. Not because I was weak, but because I was free. After that day, I changed. I walked with confidence. I spoke without fear. I was not ashamed anymore. One evening, my parents looked at me with pride. My father said, "Clara, we see your strength. You did nothing wrong. You are our blessing." My mother hugged me and cried, and inside me something healed. Later, Daniel's parents came to my home. They apologized, ashamed of their son's actions. But it was too late. My life had moved forward. I started a small group for women like me, girls who cry in silence, who feel broken, who are blamed for things they never did. We sit together, we talk, we heal. I tell them, you are not weak. You are not what people call you. You are what you believe about yourself. Don't beg for love. Don't stay where you are not respected. If someone leaves, let them go. That makes space for real peace to enter. This is not just my story. Many girls suffer like I did, but I chose to rise again. Dear girls, your past does not decide your future. Your pain is not your fault, and you are not alone.